We're good. All right. Well, hey, we're going to go ahead and get started. I think it's past 8 o'clock. It's just a little bit past right now. I know people are getting ready to jump in, but we want to welcome everybody tonight to Diversify. We're excited you guys are here.
Yes.
We do this for those of you who are just joining us for the first time. Welcome. And we want to start off by just giving you a little brief overview of what Diversify is. So this is a group of individuals that are coming together. Think of it like a collective collaboration, like a mastermind. That nothing that we do or say is financial advice. We're doing this really so we can empower each other to help grow our business, grow our wealth, to diversify our income sources, and to be generous. We do this because we want everybody to have the opportunity to be generous in whatever they do. And we also do this so we could help propel everybody into their purpose, what they're really destined to do with their life. So we want to make sure that nobody is hindered from reaching their goals. So that's why we do this. So we're literally pulling on the resources of all of us collectively, the knowledge that we all have, and sharing it with each other. So everybody here has the opportunity to share. And we want to share the knowledge we have. We want you guys to share with us so we can learn from you. And what have I missed? Have I missed anything?
It's been fun. It's actually almost a year in September. I was looking at our recurring meetings, and we have only 2 more. So it's been a year almost. I know some of you have been there for almost the entire year. And I actually was thinking today about the growth, and about growth. And I remember some of the people on this call a year ago, right? I would love for anyone to share how have you grown within the last year. I could speak for some of you, but if anyone wants to unmute yourself and just share, where were you at when we started our conversations and now where you are at now? That would be amazing. I see someone. Okay, let me open up the chat. But if anyone would like to unmute yourself and just share.
Start.
Yes.
Well, I got encouraged by this team to buy my apartment. I wasn't a homeowner. I was renting because of different situations. One of them bankruptcy 12 years ago. So I was able to rearrange my finances, and because of this group, while Chad and Diana explaining the benefits of being a homeowner, I took the chance and I bought my apartment. So for me, it has been it's a barrier that is not there anymore because I was frustrated because of myself, my bad decisions. So it's good, and I think this is only the beginning.
Yes, thank you, Marilucy. That is so awesome.
That's incredible.
I remember Marilucy reaching out, hey, I'm buying my apartment. It was yes. It wasn't easy, right, Marilucy? It was
it was a roller coaster, an emotional roller coaster, because of all the burdens that banks put today. The last apartment or the last house that I bought, it was I think almost 15 years ago. And I don't remember being as hard as it is now because of all these restrictions that banks have put in the last, I think, 10 years. So it was really, I made some mistakes, but thank God everything worked out. But it's we need to take the chance when the Lord speaks, because I prayed. I heard this. I participated in these calls. I heard the benefits, and I said, "Well, Lord, you tell me if it's the time. You will tell me." And He said, "This is the time for you. This is the time. So go ahead." And it happened a month ago.
Wow, yes.
That is so awesome. Because
Yeah,
that's what
thank
this is
you.
all about. This is literally about seeing things, all of our dreams, we want to see them fulfilled.
Yeah.
Whatever, what everybody's trying to accomplish, whether it's purchasing a house, it's starting a business,
Mhm.
diversifying investments, like going to take a new course at school, get your bachelor's, master's degree, whatever it is. We want to be able to help provide the resources and the knowledge to make that happen, whatever it takes. Because usually you're like one step away from getting to where you need to go, but you don't have that connection, or you don't know like the in between.
Yes.
So we're trying to help to bridge the in between.
Mhm.
So things like this happen. And as we do that, we're all gonna grow, and we're gonna expand where we are.
Yeah, I remember having the conversation about purchasing, and we said it, right? It's not easy, like, to purchase, because the reality is that the system right now, it's not set up for everyone to have houses. It's actually set up in a way that you have to fight your way in
Mhm.
to own property, to be able to say, hey, this house is mine, or this piece of land is mine. So it is super exciting, and we celebrate every time someone can purchase a property. For example, we've heard about other ones that actually started in Airbnb within the last month or so. So it's like, wow. Would anyone else like to jump in and share, where were you at and where you're at now, if you feel like you've grown in a certain area? Anyone? Yes. Was that you, Adam, saying yes?
I see you moving your head, Adam.
Yes, yes.
Um, no, that wasn't me doing it. I've learned, I've grown. Um, the testimony is awaiting. But I can share this though. Being a part of this group, even when it comes to the investing, the Bible talks about renewing our mind,
Yes.
and the Lord has used you to help renew my mind, even when it comes to money and finances. So that's a vague thing, but it's also biblical, and glory to God, and the Lord use you both. Amen.
Eh,
Thank you.
Thank
That is
you, Adam.
awesome.
Yes. Did anyone in the group purchase it's like the first gold coin or maybe silver coin? Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, so good. Dawn, would you like to share anything about like your business, or not just your business, whatever, you feel that you've grown?
Yeah,
think
I'll share. I was just watering my very dried plants here real quick before I got in the house. I haven't left since. Oh, I just sprayed you
I have
too.
to do the same with mine.
Yeah, for me, I think there's been a lot of growth. There's been, it's been a great support, just to have you guys to help walk me through some things, because, when I've done like businesses before, well, a lot has changed. So, so like feeling confident about it again was kind of a struggle.
Mhm.
And also I think that, doing even getting more confidence doing the V1 college, and now I've applied for the year 2. I don't know how that's going to look along with my business I'm trying to launch. It just seems like with the business, this helps me to get grounded in it, and to take things in bite-sized pieces, because I think sometimes it's like you just think, okay, well, I'm going to do this and it's going to happen. It's going to happen in a couple weeks, and it's just not that way. There's a lot of moving parts, and there's a lot to process, and there's within that, there's also balance, and there's doubt, and there's like all these different things you walk through in it. But this group has just been really supportive for me, and has helped me get through the process. And so, you know, do I feel like I got real far yet as far as that's concerned? No, but I did accomplish one big thing this last year, which is huge for me. And so now I'm still moving forward, but, you know, in my business, but it is evolving, you know,
Yeah.
and that's okay because, you know, my passion is ministry, and, you know, that's the thing that's most important. And the other I'm thankful for, and I'm seeing how God is going to use it and what I'm going to do with it. But balance too is really important. So
It's taking baby steps, you know. Sometimes we want to run, and we have all of these phenomenal ideas, which are great because those are the ideas that we want to write down, right? But it's like, okay, now that I was dreaming and I started running and coming up with all of these ideas, now let's take baby steps, right? But sometimes we think creating a website is going to go super quick, and it's not like super quick. Or creating a Facebook page, like we did one, right? And then it was hacked. Like literally, we finally had our Facebook page. It went live. And I don't know, I think it was like mid-June, it was hacked, like someone was hacked. So yes, I started preaching to them and telling them that I was gonna pray for them. I'm like, God, I need to channel right now I'm not too happy. So I'm gonna pray for this person. I'm gonna let them know I'm praying for them. So I think one of the things that we were always emphasizing, right, is like write your vision, write it down. I think that was like one of the things that we've talked and mentioned is like, but where do I even start, right? So we've talked about take a paper. It might be a Post-it note. It might be a giant Post-it note like I like to do. It might be a notebook, but just take a space in your bedroom, wherever it is, and take notes of ideas that you have. Something that we were sharing just last week, and I think even today, we don't have a roof. You know that saying about think outside the box? So instead of saying think outside the box, we can think like there's no box. If there would be no limitations on what you can do, what would you do? Where would you do it? With who you would do it? Is it your family, your entire family, right? And you're all passionate about going out to different nations and helping people, or you might be passionate about helping single women. It might be helping the elderly. That's what I was saying earlier about being generous. And what is it that drives you? What is that thing that when you wake up, you're saying, hey, man, I wish I was doing this, but I can't do it. So those are like the questions that we've been asking. And if you still don't have like a family vision, or maybe you started writing it down and you're still like thinking, what are those things that we love doing? Continue pressing in. Continue asking yourself, you know, I have skill set. What are those skill set good for? You know, like you love doing construction work, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, how can we use those skill sets? So quick reminder to everyone, write the vision of yourself, of your family as a couple. Because when we feel a little bit discouraged, when we don't see that we're moving forward, like Dawn was saying, and we feel stuck, but we look at that vision, it's like, okay, no, now I remember why I have to keep my focus.
Yeah.
Now I remember why am I doing this. So we manage money. We tell the money what to do. So here at Diversify, we're saying, hey, there's so many opportunities out there to earn income through a business, through purchasing gold and silver, doing Airbnbs, maybe renting houses. It might be with stocks, buying and selling stocks. It might be just coming up with an invention, writing a book, many different ways, selling online store. There's so many ways where you can actually earn income and then use the skills that you have.
Yeah. So it's really important when to what Diana was saying about knowing your purpose. I was just having a conversation with somebody today that's working side jobs, doing different things, and they just can't, they're explaining to me like, I really just don't know what I want to do. And we drilled it down to, it wasn't that you don't know what you want to do. It's like, he really just didn't have a purpose. He didn't have like a vision for what his life was really meant. Because this is what'll drive everything in your life. If you have no idea like what you're really meant to do in this world. And I'm not talking if you're meant to be a doctor, or you got a profession as a doctor, or you're a consultant, or you work at a daycare. That's just something that you do to produce income. It's not who you are. That's something you do to produce income. What we have to get to is, what are we meant to do? What is it that you lay in bed at night and think, man, I wish I could do this? Or when you wake up in the morning, it's the first thing in your mind, like, I wish I didn't have to go to work today. I'd be doing this. No, this is what we have to get to, is what are we meant to do? And once we have that written down, then everything else, when it comes to earning income, investing, it will follow. Because what will happen when it gets tough, when you're like, when you have a business, when it gets tough and it seems like nothing's really happening, I don't got any customers, I only made $50 this last month on this online business, that must not be a good idea. We tend to just give up and we pivot. See, people do this all the time. They're always like, they'll do something for a little bit. If it doesn't produce a result right away, they just pivot to something else.
Yeah.
And then they'll do that for a little bit of time and they pivot another direction. So they keep pivoting circles. People run around in circles because they're constantly pivoting, because they don't have anything driving them to continue. And that's what the knowing your purpose will drive you. Because if let's just take, for example, that you want to serve in Africa, little children, feeding them or whatever. Well, that's going to take you thousands of dollars to go there for a few months and do that. So let's say the number is, I need $15,000 to stay there for 3 months to serve. Well, now you have a real goal. So no matter what happens, you're going to be like, okay, I have to save $15,000 somehow. And it's not going to matter how, because you're going to do everything in your power to come up with that money. Because when there's something that you really want, you find a way to get the money for it, whether it's like buying a new car, or you find a way.
Yes.
So this is how we have to look at our vision in life, is we have to find a way to fund that. And this is why it's important to have that driven thing. And that's why, and so here we're going to move into, okay, now that I have the thing, what do I do? Because we're all like in this crucial point right now.
Yes.
We're growing. Our businesses are already been launched. Many of us have already launched businesses. Many of us have ideas for businesses that we want to launch, but we're kind of just on the edge waiting. So we're at this crucial point right now where it's like, okay, we need to take action in all areas of our life. It's not just, we have to take action like filing our business registration license with the state. No, we have to take action with our personal finances at the same time. Because if we're going to build businesses, start new companies, travel, serve other nations, do all these things, we have to have the financial resources and capacity to do that. And we have to know how to make the money that we have work for us.
Yes.
The days of like us just going out and fighting to get money just so we could pay our rent, pay our car payment, have money for groceries, and maybe have a little bit left over so I could do something on the weekend or go out for dinner. Those days are like done for us. We have to like say, no, I'm taking the money that I've been given and I'm going to make it work for me. I'm going to make it grow. It's this is not magic. Like money doesn't just magically grow. People that are wealthy, they take their money and they put it in certain areas and they make it go to work for them. You hear this all the time. I don't work for money, money works for me. How do we do that though? Because this is the challenge. How do you make money work for you? Especially here's what some of you might be thinking. I don't have any money anyway, so nothing can work for me. So I have no employees. But that's not, but we do. As we get money, we have to start thinking our mindset. Okay, this $1 bill that I just got, or this $100 paycheck I just got, these are my employees. So I want you to start thinking about this. When you get money, think about it as it's your employee from here on out. You're gonna assign it something to do for you, and it's gonna bring back a return to you. So you get a $1 bill, you're gonna invest it in some part of your life, whether it's your nutrition that goes into your body, that's an investment into your body.
Yes.
Whether it's your housing, you're paying your mortgage with your paycheck, that's an investment into your shelter. That's an investment into asset building for wealth creation for your personal thing. Whether it's your vehicle, that you're going to take that $1 bill and you're going to invest it into your car payment, because that might be what you use to drive for Uber and make money with. That's an investment. It might be the transportation to get you back and forth to work. So you're investing that money into something that's making you money. So it's I know this seems elementary, but it's really like a mind shift where we have to think about every single dollar as an employee of ours, and we're going to make it go to work for us. No longer are we going to be slaves to money. You hear this all the time. We're a slave to our employer. We're slave to money. We're slave to this. No more. We don't have to be. Even if we're making very little money right now, that doesn't matter. Money is easy to make. It seems like it's not, but money is easy. Once you start directing money the way you want it to go, money will come faster and faster. It attracts itself. I don't know the theory behind it, but it attracts. Money's attracted to money. So it happens once you direct it.
It's a proverb, right?
It is
Proverb
it is.
that talks about when you work on something, it will bring wealth to you. So when we're talking about like creating, like writing your vision, I know we've been talking about this many times, but that's how important it is. Because money, when we look at the money, where you're spending or where you're investing, like Chad was saying, when you start investing your money, so your funds, what you've earned, it will tell us who we are. Like I can look at people's finances and say where their heart is. We know what they love doing. For example, if we see a lot of money being invested on food out, we know what's going on. If we see money being invested in maybe vacation throughout the year, we know that this is a family that believes on taking time off and vacation. So money tells a story about who we are. So when we're thinking about diversifying the income, we were thinking about and talking about this. It's many of us don't have an income problem. We're having an expense problem. So it doesn't matter if we start diversifying and we start earning more income. Sometimes we still feel stuck. Sometimes we still cannot be generous, because what happens is that we were taught and we're breaking a cycle. We call it breaking a cycle of poverty. It's a mindset, right? And I think Adam mentioned the mindset as well. So then we start breaking that cycle So we're doing exactly the opposite of what we've been doing, or maybe our parents or great grandparents. Maybe your grandparents were amazing, and then suddenly there was a shift, and now you do not know anything about the skills that your grandparents had, the properties that they own, and maybe that they lost somehow or they sold. So what we're saying is we change our mindset. We look at money differently, as if it's working for you. Chat was calling as if it's your employee. And we tell the money what to do. Because it doesn't matter if we earn 1,000 per month or 10,000 or 100K. And all of us know the parable about the talents, right? So it could be that you're earning 1,000 or then 10,000 per month. If we cannot steward well the 1,000, what happens when we get the 10,000 is that we continue with the same mindset that we were treating that 1,000. So we're still buying a lot of food out. Maybe now we've changed the chicken tenders from McDonald's to buy lobster, but it's still eating out. Literally, I've seen that before. People don't work at a McDonald's, they're buying hamburgers at McDonald's, and then they get a good job, and now they start eating out lobster and shrimp at a local restaurant. They go from drinking like a Family Express, the $1 drink, to start now drinking Starbucks, which is $5. So do you see how it wasn't an income problem? It's a mentality issue. So for us to be able to lead, like to manage the money, when we start diversifying the right way, you don't have to wait until you have that business or you start developing the consulting business, or you start developing your book. We want to start now. We want to start today. When we were talking about food, right? And about eating out, we mentioned that because that's the most common, okay?
Yeah.
No, it's not because of anyone on this call. So, but if we change our mindset and we say, you know what? We want to be healthy physically. So therefore, I'm going to start thinking about meal prepping, and I'm going to purchase the food that I need for my meals. Now you're taking ownership of your money. You're not just buying whatever fast food you can find. You're actually creating a meal that will at the end be beneficial for your body. So there is wealth that is coming back because you didn't spend the money, but it's also the wealth for your nutrition that Chad mentioned earlier about how you're getting more healthy. So personal vision, and then with that personal vision, then you connect your wealth planning, your family expenses, because it should mirror your calling, it should mirror your purpose. Your finance should tell the story of what your passion is. If you love giving, then we're going to see that too.
Yeah, it's exactly like, I mean, yeah, we have so many stories of people, once they take this initiative and they really take control of their money and they marry it up with what they're called to do. I mean, I got one person in particular, and I'm hoping we'll get him on here to share sometime.
Yeah.
And this is just a recent thing, and he's planning on moving and doing some stuff. But it's exactly what we're saying. It's like, you found my purpose. Now I'm going to take my money and I'm going to put it into my purpose.
Yes.
So we call it like the power of order. Like, you're bringing order to your life, and the main thing in your life really is your finances. So when that gets in order, it brings order to the rest of your life, because everything revolves around it. Because that's like, finances are the number one things people worry about. It's the number one thing that couples fight about. It's money. It's because we feel like we have a lack of it, and we want things we can't have.
Mhm.
So it causes a lot of stress.
We feel stuck.
We feel trapped.
It's like, well, I can't do what I love doing because I don't have the money to travel. Or maybe I don't have the money to buy the laptop that I need because I love creating
Yeah.
and I don't have the money for it. So it's kind of like the excuse that we use, or that it's inherited somehow, that keeps us stuck in a place. We can't do vacation. We don't have the money. So what is it that you and I need to do? Not tomorrow, but maybe even tonight. What is it? Do you need to write one post-it note and put it in your car tonight? It might be one word. Listen, for us is to be able to be generous in a way of helping people in our town, here in United States, but also in other states, in other countries. That's our passion. It drives us. So when we look and we say, should I buy food out today or should I cook? And then use that money to keep up saving so then I can actually be able to help in the food pantry that we have at V1 in Portage. Does that make sense? Then I'm like, I'm gonna cook tonight, because you know what? By me cooking, I'm gonna be able to help our family to save, so then we can be generous and we can help buy food at the food pantry.
Yeah. So, and when we're talking about saving, I know we're talking about being generous and not eating out and cooking food and not, those different things. But for us, so we just share with like what we do.
Mhm.
So we created, and some of you guys might have already done this, but we want to share like the purpose why we do this. So we created what we call as a family wealth plan. So it's basically, it's a budget on 20 steroids. It's kind of is what it is, because of this one right here, because that's the way she thinks. But so it's like locked out for the entire year. We know what we're going to make for the year. We forecast what we're going to make for the year, what we're going to spend on giving, what we're going to spend on investing in properties and gold and silver and different investments. We mark out what we think we're going to spend on vacations. We just write this all out, and you guys could do this too, and we could share the spreadsheet with you, and you could work on it at your own pace. And you literally map out for the entire year what you want to see with your life. So if you're in a position where you want to buy a house, okay, we're going to build that on the spreadsheet, and we're going to map it out, what that would look like. How much money a month, a paycheck, do I need to save so I could have the down payment for that house? Or rental property, or whatever, or if I'm starting a business, how much do I need for startup costs? We put it all on the spreadsheet. And there is really something about writing this stuff down and putting it on paper. It really happens. Once you do this, it just happens. You're accountable to yourself and you see it. And then once things start happening, you will actually start seeing things change for you. And this happens almost immediately. Like within the first week, you will start seeing a difference in your finances. And some of you guys might be really good with budgeting, and this might not be an area that that we need to go over, but for us, we have to go over this all the time.
Yes.
I mean, even us, there's things that we want to, like, I don't know if I want to do that, or I want to buy this, or I really want this right now. But we choose to sacrifice those things, not because we just want to live like at the lowest level of, poverty or whatever you want to say. No, because we know there's other things that we want to do that we can't get to that next level. Because so for you guys, this is about getting to the next level.
Yeah.
Like where you're at right now, you if you're on this call, it's because you want to go to the next level.
Mhm,
So how do you get to the next level?
mhm.
Well, we can't do the same thing we're doing. We just can't do. So we have to take the information we learned from other people that they're already at the next level.
Mhm.
And how did they get there? Well, for us, with the rental properties and things we have, this is exactly how we got there. We started off living in an apartment.
Mhm.
Yeah, what's 5 years ago?
We
6
downsized from a house to, yep.
We downsized. I was living in a house that I couldn't afford. So I rented that property out because I couldn't afford the mortgage payment. So I rented it out, then rented an apartment that I could afford.
Yeah.
And then when we got married, we stayed in an apartment
Mhm.
and we bought a duplex. We took the money, we made a plan, we paid off the debt, our debt. We stayed in the apartment while we're paying off the debt. So we didn't go out to eat, we didn't do any, we just were so hyper focused to pay off the debt. I had like about $20,000 in debt that we had to pay off. So we
At
just
that moment.
at that moment, at one time I had like $56,000 in credit card bills. So if you think that, oh, I've got worse, I mean, I had a lot of debt. So I really drilled down, and that's why I'm so passionate about this topic, because I saw it change my life and change what we were able to do. So I want everybody to have the same opportunity that I had. So we paid everything off, and then we saved up enough money to buy a duplex. And we put a down payment on a duplex. I think we put like 5% down or something on it because it was our 10% down. And we moved into the duplex. We were able to,
When COVID.
when COVID happened. So we went from living in kind of like a nice apartment complex to a duplex that wasn't really that nice. But we lived for free almost for like a year straight living in that duplex because the rent from one side paid for our mortgage payment on that duplex, besides like the utilities.
Yes. So if you think about your family, about yourself as if you were a business, as if your family, what you're earning right now or not in the future, right now was a business, how would you manage your finances? So we're not saying wait until a year, wait until you have the business, wait until you're making a lot of money and diversifying. Start now.
Mhm.
So for example, the spreadsheet that Chad was referring, yes, you'll create first a monthly budget, right? But then this Excel spreadsheet, and I love your idea, Winona. Yes, I would definitely do a tutorial with it. You know, you put that into a 12-month budget. What we've seen is that when you see the 12-month, then you see how much you're actually saving. It's like, what? I've never seen that amount of money in my life because we've never done a plan like as if we were a business. Every for-profit business out there that is very sustainable, they do a 12-month budget. They actually do a 5-year plan, right? So ideally, at some point, we'll get everyone on this call to have a forecast of 3 years. That's where we want to go. 3 years ahead.
Could you imagine that, knowing 3 years from now how much money you'll have to invest, save, buy? Could you imagine like the power of that?
Yes, and when we were dating, we said how we did the plan, 12 months. What is the minimum? And actually we redid it about, I think it was in May of this year, we redid it, we revisited. So we did 1 year. What is the minimum spending that we need? The Dieter family is this amount. Everything else that comes additional, guess for what it is for. Is for what we wanted to be generous for. Is for the business. So I hope that's making sense. We did a budget for a year. This is the minimum we need to make. Every dollar after that is for what we want to be able to do. Is for the business. It's gonna be for the investment. It's gonna be for us. You know, when chat was saying that we even forecast the giving, yes, because we at least give 10%. So if we know our income, we forecast. Now, does it mean that we only give the 10%? No, because that's the power of order. We're calling it the power of order today. That's the topic. When you organize, when you bring order to your vision, order to the wealth you have, there's a power that is released, and it's unexplainable. Unexplainable. Once you do this 12 month, it's like, what did we just do? And then you start following it up. I know everyone on this call, less than 1 week from today, will let us know this just happened. I just got a call for me to do X, Y, or Z. It's not easy, but when you do it, there is power on it. Some like practicals. Do your monthly budget if you haven't done so. If you're married, come along your spouse and do it with them, because we are like a business. See your family as a business.
I know it sounds weird, but it's really it's really the truth.
When you look at your finances, meet. Because listen, there's if we go through the Bible, it talks about a spirit called Mammon. So that's why it's so difficult for everyone to address money. So it's when you sit down and you make a decision. You know what, honey? By the 10th of next month, we're going to sit down, we're going to have dinner, and we're going to talk about our finances. How did we do last year? You're treating your family as a business. So when you have your own business, it's going to be so easy because you've already created the muscle. Meet with your spouse. If you're single, you can bring someone along your side. Hey, Diana, can you just meet with me next month? We can schedule a half an hour meeting. Sure, I can. I was there one time, not too long ago. So I understand how difficult it is to look at your finances when you don't have a spouse, and when your spouse too.
Yeah, it might be harder when you have a spouse. Because when you start talking about money, and if you haven't talked about money, like seriously sitting down, like, let's have a meeting about our finances.
Yeah.
It's gonna feel weird at first, and it's gonna sound weird, and at first you're gonna be like, we're good, why do we have to talk about that? But
yes,
it's powerful because you guys are all, think about it, you guys are all entrepreneurs. You're here
Yes.
because you're entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So we have to start living our lives in a fashion like we're an entrepreneur. If, like Diana was saying, if your personal finances are not orderly, when your business starts making a bunch of money, it's not gonna, you're not gonna keep it. The money's gonna fly away like a little bird. It'll just happen. You have to have, this is why it's important to have this down, because when you start making money, and all of you guys will start making a lot of money.
Yes.
And you're gonna, and having the order is gonna help you to grow faster, and then you'll be able to help other people.
When you do those monthly meetings, look at your family goals. What was our goal as a family? What was it that we wanted to do? I'm sorry. Were we able to do it? Did we spend more money than what we thought we were going to be spending? Maybe you actually saved more money than what you were thinking. Look at it. I'm sorry. You go ahead.
Yeah. So look at that at your meeting, and then make determinations for like the next month. Okay, well, we saved more than what we thought we were, or we spent way more than what we thought. So maybe we need to adjust.
Yes.
Because sometimes when we're creating our plans, we want to be real militant. Like, all right, I'm going to spend $200 on food, and right now we're spending $600. We're eating rice and beans, and that's it. There's nothing else. And maybe you could go to McDonald's once a month and have something off the dollar menu or the $1.25 menu now. So be realistic. And if you have spouses and you guys really haven't put together a wealth plan together, or we don't even like to say budget because it sounds so like, yeah. But if you haven't put together a wealth plan with your spouse, be realistic with each other. So one of the things that we like to do is that we give each other like an allowance. We say, okay, you get $100 a month. I get $100 a month, and I can't ask you what you're doing with your money. Don't ask me what I'm doing with my money. Because we all still have things that like we like to do or buy, and sometimes the things that we like, our spouses, they're not into that. They're like, that's a waste of money. Why would you spend that money there? But for us, that's something that we like. You grow up, there's just things that you like. So in order to stop the friction and tension, you just say, okay, our number is, it might be $50 a month, or it might be $150, whatever it is. Just make a decision that, okay, you could spend this much money a month without asking, and I'll spend this much, but everything else we're coming together and we're building a plan for. And that way you're happy, he's happy, she's happy. And then it makes it easier to do the plan, because now you're on the same page. You're not like, well, you get more than me and I didn't get to spend that, and I'm home all the time and you're get to go out for lunch all the time.
Yes.
Like, really think about all these things, how it works with each other.
Customize your budget too. So for example, if there's trends in your expenses, or maybe December we celebrate Christmas, maybe you celebrate Christmas, maybe for birthdays, maybe you like to take vacations every year in July, include that within your 1 year wealth plan. Because guess what? When you have a business, it is the same way. There's trends depending on what you do. I'm going to give an example myself, right? So last year for June, I didn't earn any income. Well, I was working in one of our houses physically, but I didn't do any consulting work that would generate like money, cash money coming in, right? I was earning income because I was painting the apartment, but that wasn't cash coming into our account. So, but because we know how to manage our finances, right? And we've learned how to do, how to work the trends when we have more income or less income. Same thing with your business. If your business generates more income around Christmas and not in the summer, then you will start learning how to be able to manage those trends as well. Okay, so hold on, then I cannot spend all of this money in December because I know that I won't be making the same amount in the summer. So you see, whatever you're doing on your personal finances right now is exactly what's gonna be poured into all of the different income that you will generate through gold and silver. Maybe that's a little more difficult to sell. And right, when you have the gold, it's like, okay, I'm gonna keep this. But if you have an Airbnb, or maybe you have rent income coming in, or consulting business, or through a book, and you start generating, we've seen it over and over. People will tell us, I have more debt now than before. I've seen people that are having contracts of over 100,000, contracts of over $1 million in a year, that are getting their cars being taken. And what is a pound? Or
Yeah,
something? Repossessed.
Yeah.
Because it was never an income issue. So that's why we're having this conversation today. We want to make sure that all of you were dreaming, we're thinking about the future, but we're also taking ownership of today. That you're not covered with debt, unless it's like good debt, unless it's your house or a vehicle, that you are taking control of the debt, of your debt. Those credit cards do not own you. you are the one telling the credit card to what to do, right? You're using it for your benefit.
Yeah, you guys are really managing. I want you to really think about you're managing money. Like, think about this. I don't know what all you guys, I know what most of you guys do, but if you've ever been a manager at a restaurant or at an organization where you're a manager, you're managing your employees. You're really managing to make sure that they show up on time, they do their things. It's the same thing with our money. We really are going to manage it. So like, we're really managing it, making sure it's doing what it's supposed to be doing for us, because what's going to happen, and this is why we're pouring on this personal financing, because as your guys' businesses start growing, your consulting business, your clothing business, whatever it is, you're going to have to do this with your finances in your business. And if you do not get this right on the front end, there's probably a 99% chance your business will fail because of finances. Not because your idea wasn't great, not because you're an unethical person, because on your personal finances, you could play around with. Business finances, cash flow and everything is key. So if you start, if it's not, your financials are not lined up there, you can't grow your business, you can't pay your vendors, and it'll collapse your business. This happens all the time.
Yeah, even the bankers, they ask you for financial statements. They're gonna ask you, hey, let me see your financial statements. And listen, it's okay to ask for support. And something that I wanted to add, we, like at A Better Life, what we always say is we lead people, we manage money. So our jobs, they're teaching us, we're gonna manage people, right? And we're gonna manage the money. So we believe on leading people and managing money. We tell the money where to go, you know? So, credit score, good debt and bad debt, all of those things will come into alignment once you start taking those baby steps in ordering your finances, the wealth that you have. Then you will start to save money. You'll be able to see how you can start saving. It's just like automatically. But take control. Don't allow money make decisions for you. Oh, well, now I have to stop being generous because I don't have money. On the other way around, when we give, we actually, it's like we knock at a door and the door just automatically opens up for us. Would anyone like to ask any question? This was this like, did it make sense what we were sharing with you? And why is this important? Yeah, I see some yeses.
It might feel a little heavy, but it's important for the next level you guys are all going to. This is going to be so crucial for you, because I can see this is the next thing that we have to get a hold of so we can go to the next.
Yes. All of you are philanthropists. Everyone on this call. Maybe it's because you write a book. Maybe it's because you write a curriculum. But everyone on this call are entrepreneurs, philanthropists, people that are generous on their time and on giving, on finances. So like Chad was saying, we're just taking it up to another level, because when you get, your 100,000 per month, what are we gonna do? What is your vision saying? If we did our budget at X amount per year, right? Then we know that when it comes that we start earning $100,000 per month, we know where our lifestyle is and where we want to go, and that everything else has already been labeled. We know that in our case is to be able to bring food and shelter, help education here in the United States and in other countries. We want to support wellness on people. So we already created a label for those. When the money comes, we know where it's going. So I hope this is beneficial for everyone on the call. it is like shaking everyone. It is the power of order. You can domain not just our emotions. You can bring dominion into your finances, into the wealth that you have.
Yes.
Physical, we were talking about that today, right? It's like mental wealth, physical wealth, financial, and spiritual wealth.
Yes. So that's, like we said, if you guys had any questions, anybody wants to ask anything right now, feel free to, and we're always here. Throughout the week, you could reach out to us if you need help. We're going to get this spreadsheet out to everybody, but reach out to us if you just don't know what to do, or you're like, this is great, but I'm like lost, or I just need help with it. Because this is not so, and don't feel bad, because this is not taught in school. It's not taught in any university. It's not taught in elementary school, middle school, high school, nowhere. Our parents don't teach us this stuff. It's literally it's hidden from us. So that's why it even makes it even more important if we get a hold of it. We're
For
reading the chats right
business
now.
also, so Erica is asking if we can use that spreadsheet for business. Yeah, you can sure update it maybe a little bit, but that's actually what I did. I use an Excel spreadsheet that we built for the business and then for the personal. So it just changes the labels, right? The income, maybe some of the expenses line items might change, but yes. And then something that I don't want to forget, another like practical. Once you build that budget for your family, for yourself, there's an app that we like using. It's called Mint, M-I-N-T. Is created by QuickBooks. So what we do is that we get that budget from the Excel sheet and we put it into Mint. So it's pretty easy to navigate. You create labels, you can connect they're not paying us to do this.
It's a free app. We just like it because it's free. So we don't have to subscribe to a service to do what they offer. And it's easy.
Yes.
And it helps us keep track of our spending. Because even though we create this spreadsheet, we don't go look at it every day.
No.
We look at it every couple months or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll use the Mint to like
Monthly.
really track, and it brings light to things that you don't like, seeing things come through in your bank account and through this app. You're like, oh, I didn't know I was doing that.
Yes, it has like pie charts, so it would give you the budget versus the actual. So remember when we were saying about taking time once a month to look at the previous month? Then you look at Mint, you connect all of your different accounts. Don't hide anything. Don't hide any account unless it's your spending money. Call it spending money. I'm gonna get this cash out so I don't feel bad. Put it there, put it there. So, but label it spending. We call it, I could think it's like spending for chat.
Yeah, spending for Diana, spending for Chad.
Yeah.
Just like one item.
Like a line item. And whenever we label it, you can give access to your spouse. You label those transactions. You sit down.
So one funny thing about the spending thing, when we first started doing this, we do $100 each. So we take $100 cash out, remember?
Yes.
And then I think we went on vacation one year and she had like a bunch of $100. I'm like, where's all this money? She goes, that's my spending money. I spent all mine, but she had a bunch of money. So I'm like, well, let's use your money. We're going out to eat. I'm like, you got a bunch of money. Let's use yours. And she's like, no, that's my spending money. We aren't using that.
Like thinking I'm gonna get some clothes, some cosmetics, I'm gonna see my shoes. And it's like, let's eat your money.
Yeah.
No, you got your Family Express soda. That's actually our conversation, right? But it's fun. It is fun. You'll see it. You'll see so much blessing coming. So much blessing coming that then being a business owner, being a book writer and selling it on Amazon and being a New York bestseller
Yeah.
would be like, oh yeah, now we know why this is coming, right? Because you created a vision plan for your family and you build legacy. You build legacy. So we will send an email. I know we owe you last month and the previous month link. We are gonna send this week an email with the links for all the recordings. We're also going to send a link for the Excel spreadsheet, and I am gonna create a like a tutorial, Winona. I love your idea, so that everyone knows how to use it. Because it is 12 months, so sometimes it's like, wow, oh my goodness, where do I start? Just start with the month of August, or like the month of August. Don't go back, just start. If it's next month, next month.
Yeah.
So thank you, everyone. So excited.
All right. We appreciate you guys taking the time and joining us tonight. This is exciting. Please reach out to us with any questions you have. And if we don't get back to you, bug us again, because we're like all of you guys, we're doing a million different things. So if we don't get back to you right away, don't feel bad if you send us a text or a message twice or something. It is not bothering us. As a matter of fact, it convicts us. We're like, oh no, I forgot to get back to them. So we want to be bothered.
Yes. We want to be your partner. Okay, you're not alone. You're not alone. So have a great evening, everyone.
Have a good night, you guys. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Until
Good night.
the
Thanks, you
last
guys.
day of
Thank you.
August, last Tuesday of the month of August. Okay. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.